Welcome to the last lesson in which we're going to go on to the design of the second alien. Since it's the last lesson, I'd like to thank you for getting this far and hope you enjoyed the course. Let's start with the second design, as I was saying, and in this case, it will be the alien with diurnal habits, humanoid aspect, and whose environment will be Earth-related. I'm going to leave our little person on the side. And next, we're going to see that we have to consider that since it's more humanoid, it'll have certain features that will be focused on its social behavior. It will maybe sexual dimorphism, etc. Remember that usually we have 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 hands, and that we can do is either add more or create some kind of special feature on the alien we want to do. I'm going to start with the sexual dimorphism. I'm going to create a male and a female. So for this, I'm going to start, and I took as a reference the reptiles to create this kind of crown, so to speak, that will be a part of the skull in order to make it more visual. I'm starting with the male. And, well, starting from a human head, we've placed both eyes. Then the next step would be the nose, the mouth. As you see, I added a couple of protuberances, one on each side of the chin, and mark very much the chins, the cheeks, even widen the ear zone. We can exaggerate the neck, either widening it or narrowing it. And well, since it's humanoid, it will have to possess some features similar to ours. So I'm going to limit myself in that sense a bit more. Since I want to have even more reference of the model, what I'll do is transfer it towards the side view. So I made these horizontal lines in order to transfer the proportions in the most proper way. So here we'd have the side view, and this way we can also see the volume that the skull would have. Oh, sorry, this would be the female. Okay, so here we would have to add, for example, the hair, which I drew as if she had dreadlocks on the back. Then some other little details to the fur, and well, now we have to adjust the eye here a bit because I drew it too high. And add that part of the hair that I had left. And now we'd have the front and side view of our female alien. What I'll do now is copy it, rescale it, and based on this, I'll create the male version because it'll have similar features and we can use the aid. I'm going to change the shape of the crown I put on them, and I'm going to transform it using Ctrl-T and the warp option. I made the chin wider, the mouth a bit thinner, narrower. And I'm going to change the hairstyle because I drew the male with loose hair. This way, the result would be something like this. I have to lower the chin because I transformed it too. And well, this would be the result of both sketches of our aliens, male and female. And what I'll do now, aided by these, will be to transfer it to a full body illustration in order to see how it would all fit. Since it's an alien that has to be in a more natural environment, I decided to make it able to move around treetops and whose mobility main feature is jumping and grabbing. So the legs will have a quite different appearance and its general structure will be thin, very dynamic. And I also took as a reference some animals because I wanted to include them so you see you can also apply them very well and that they don't really have to be same species. Well, I'll mention them a bit later. I leave you guessing so to see if you find out which ones are they. As I was saying, since they're aliens that mainly move from tree to tree, what I decided to exaggerate on them is the size of their arms, because their strength will mainly lie in their mobility and speed, and that they'll have to be strong so they can grab around. And besides that, I decided that I was going to include a prehensile tail so it can help them stand and use it as a third arm. I'm going to draw a second pose too so you can appreciate more or less some kind of mobility or something like that so you can perceive the character design better and see some kind of gesture or movement that can help us check what it is as a whole. I'm going to draw it like it was hanging on a branch. And this way it has a shape that can say a lot without drawing the face. And well, here we have the next pose, like this. The legs are quite flexible, and the whole pose itself. Okay. So this is how our alien would be, more or less. I'm going to do a close-up of how the legs would be in order to emphasize how some of the parts of the body would be, so you can observe them thoroughly. This would be a leg along with the foot of our alien. I don't know if bit by bit you can get an idea. And well, this would be the final concept here. What I'm going to do right now is to place these images I took as a reference so you see the animals I considered. In first place, I have the lemur, so you see both its feet and tail were an inspiration. And the next one is a chameleon because of the crown or so. Also, in the case of a much deeper development, I would have decided to apply some kind of texture similar to the one on a chameleon skin. The only thing I'm doing now is base coloring, so I know more or less how the tone I decided to use on the character would result. And well, it's basically that. If you want to develop your character further, I recommend you that from a sketch sheet so you can get an idea of what you want to create and try to have that more three-dimensional and volumetric perception. So you can set your alien in any pose or in any way, and this way make a better concept out of it. And that would be basically it. Thank you very much for taking on this course. I hope I helped you and that you liked it. If you have any doubt, leave it on the forum and I'll try to get back at you as soon as possible. Thank you for putting up with me again. And I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you soon.